Hello people, my name is Rage, and welcome one and all back to Cities, Skylines, and the RageGamingVideos. Why do they not have water? Where has the water gone? Okay, alright, who's the joker messing with the water supply? I'm just trying to start my episode, but there's some sneaky water thief who's running around town with bags of water balloons, and he's stealing hundreds of households worth of water. What a crafty little... Ooh, he's a so-and-so, is he? He is a so-and-so. So I suppose let's add a water pumping station to the network and hope that that kind of works. Where is this even connected to? This is actually connected to this one over here. So technically, if I connect that up and continue, that should solve their water issues. I'm hoping eventually. Yeah, there it is. That is what you call baller. I am, however, going to preemptively add another one because it seems to be insane. Okay, so yes, it is Skylines, and as you can see, I'm about to hit 1 million in funding, and I have realized something. As the empire grows and the finger loners and all the various, Dave as well, all the various awesome little areas of our areas that we have areas in the city, it's going well. But I've completely neglected all these cool buildings that we can build around the place that really add something awesome to the town. And we can have the Mall of Moderation, which sounds like a fun thing. We'll have it on the outskirts of town. That should make a lot of people happy. We'll have a friendly neighborhood park in the neighborhood. Look, how friendly and neighborhoody is that? And then over here, we'll add the other friendly neighborhood park. And then we're going to have the giant empire building in here. I think that's a good place for it. That does seem very empire-y, because I've just not done all of this. Colossal offices. They are seriously colossal offices. My word, have you ever seen an office this colossal? I defy you to think of one. Yeah, let's build it there, because after all, this is a high office zone. Yeah, look at that. That is phenomenal. That looks so cool. It is actually shaped really nicely, and that is a fantastic building. Yeah, this is all office zones, so we may as well have it there. I mean, we do have a few office zones, but I don't want to put everything in the Empire. The Wild South definitely needs one. I just can't believe I've been neglecting all these cool things. The High Interest Tower. Yeah, that can go in the Wild South. But where in the Wild South? Where will it do the least damage? There we have it. Look at it go. That is cool as hell. I just can't believe I've not been looking at all these things. The Expo Center we want to put kind of more in a city-y area. So actually the Expo Center will be over in the Empire as well. And that's a good place to keep it. And there seems to be good. Beautiful. We got ourselves an expo center. That made most people happy. That's nice to see. And then finally we got these bad boys, the Theater of Goddamn Wonders, over all up in here. Let's whack that around this area where the OGs are. The first proper high-density apartments I had going on. It can fit here. Yes, there it is, the Theater of Wonders. We have the Modern Art Museum. We can have the Art Museum over this side of town. I think this is a nice enough place to have an art museum, because that covers a big, wide area. And then we got the stadium. Now, we do have a lot of population around here, so we'll go for the stadium as well. Perhaps, actually, on the outskirts of this might be good. Maybe a little bit more over here. Although there's a lot of people in this area, and they probably do like their football. So I'm going to... Actually, there we go. That's a lovely place for the stadium. It doesn't matter if it's near the road. They don't like the noise of the stadium, but I think they'll appreciate having the stadium capabilities going on. So we've got a lot of awesome buildings now. And we're basically just going to keep unlocking them and placing them. It's a nice thing to have. I mean, I don't think they do that many crazy things. Having the shopping center next to the stadium is probably a nice little addition. So as you can notice, I have got a interesting road design here, so we can extend into this area, because what we're going to do is buy this tile, and eventually we'll buy the other tile, so we completely own the lake, and we're going to have kind of a lakeside community, which I think will be pleasant, won't it? It'll be pretty, it'll be lovely and picturesque, the kind of place you put on the front of a generic postcard and send to people that you want to rub it in their faces that you're on a lovely holiday and they're not. You know, that kind of thing. We want to get rid of this useless dirt trail. Oh, we can't delete that one, but that's okay. Let's start extending roads. And we have we suddenly have a ridiculously good demand for residential and for the others. So this is a really nice thing to start here. Let's have a section of road then built across the river. And it's basically just going to continue all the way round, and we're going to have true riverside properties. And then it's going to extend round this corner. Actually, I prefer it to look kind of nice. I want this area to be an enjoyable area to be a part of. So we're going to try and make it definitely aesthetically pleasing. I like that. I do. It's kind of like it's like a squashed Pac-Man. That's what this is. This is the squashed Pac-Man look, and I think it's a glorious one. Do I want a big-ass roundabout here, though? I kind of feel like I should have done. So, yeah, I am actually going to put a roundabout there, because it's a roundabout as well. I know, I'm hilarious. I'm just so funny. It's actually crazy how funny I am. Then this one's going to go to that. This is going to connect up there. And then this can be a line further in that can... we're going to make this curved again. But then it can kind of arc round here and end up connecting to that one. And then we're gonna have, like, he's got like a gadget. It's like cyber stretched squashed Pac-Man. This is his eye, and he's got like metal plating on his back. I'm liking the look of that. The squashed Pac-Man Lakeside Village. I mean, you would live in a place called the squashed Pac-Man Lakeside Village. Don't you dare try and tell me otherwise, because I know you totally would. Let's have another roundabout there as well, just to create more potential space for people to live on and be happy and just generally enjoy their lives as we armor up this Pac-Man with lots and lots of armor and other various weaponry. I guess we'll connect his mouth at the back so he's got a nice little hinged jaw there. In fact, this is a good area for another roundabout, but I don't think that one is as necessary, so I'm just going to leave it. It's nice to have a lot of money to begin working on a project like this. It really, really is. And then from here, we're going to bring that down, and there we go. We finish our Pac-Man endeavor, and we've got quite a large amount of road space to use. I might just put little roundabouts everywhere just to maximize what we're going to get out of this, because I could see that working pretty nicely, because as you know, traffic is definitely my strong point in this game, and I tend to be pretty good at it. So this cyber lakefront squashed Pac-Man, I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying this as an experience. Let's finish connecting the roads, and then we are good to go. Granted, these are pretty small roads, so I might actually leave them as such, and just have these as purely ways of getting around, and we're not going to have actual stuff on them. I think that we could get away with that quite easily. We just want a lot of ways for people to move around Pac-Man, because otherwise, what is the point of a Pac-Man that people can't move around? Like, you need to be able to jump around on your Pac-Man. You need to jump up, and get Pac-Man. And if you can't do that, I mean, you may as well go home from the disco, because you are done partying for the night. And that definitely makes sense to me. I'm liking this. It's like a cross-hatched metallic cyber squashed Pac-Man plating that people are gonna live on. Everyone else is going to be so jealous. They are going to just be so jealous. Alright, let us start zoning. We don't have a lot of money, so instead of zoning straight away, I'm going to wait until I have the money to completely do everything that this town will need. Otherwise, it's going to be a little bit annoying. Especially power-wise, and a lot of you were like, God damn it, Rage, start using actual nuclear power and stuff instead of your crazy, ridiculous wind farm that you have going on. Why, just, my god. And potentially, that is probably a good idea. And by potentially that is probably a good idea, I mean that, yes, that is definitely a good idea. So that's what I'm going to work on in the meantime while I wait for some money to stack up. And using piping like this, I just feel like it's better because there's less chance of the water supply just kind of drying up. Like, it does like to just stop every now and then, and I've got to add more pumps. But that's probably a question of the pumps and not the pipes just being really finicky. So I'm sorry, pipes. I am sorry for preemptively blaming you, but can you blame me? That's the real question, pipes, because I don't think that you can. I think you need to learn your lesson and start behaving like proper adult pipes. Otherwise, your parents are going to be really disappointed in you. And the thing is, I had finally a good episode last episode in terms of things that I did being good, sensible things that actually improve my city in a good, tangible way. So I'm feeling pretty confident. I'm feeling pretty damn confident. So in terms of actual energy then, we could make a solar power plant. That seems pretty good. That has, I mean, how much energy is this going to pull in? Let me put it against the road so I can actually kind of see. I mean, how much does it generate? That's the question. I actually have no idea. So what I'm going to do is get a road going out here, like so, and just whack the solar power plant at the end, and we'll see what happens. I imagine that generates a fairly large amount. Yeah, I mean that did pretty good. Though I don't think I need two of them right now. I'd rather save the money on that one. I know it was a slight loss to do that, but sometimes you just got to make it happen. So in terms of the power network then, we technically can connect, but we'll have to see where houses start springing up. So for starters, we're going to have the front side. In fact, no, we'll dezone that again. I want the front side to just be nice, normal houses, and at the back we'll have high density. So we'll start the high density roughly, I'd say here, just to make sure traffic doesn't become too much of a problem. In fact, we'll use the brush because this is a very brushable road. And if I leave it there to start with, when they slowly build in, we can extend the power grid over this road and connect it down to there, and that's going to power this whole section. We can't really do something this large in one go, otherwise it's going to end up completely crippling us. And if there's one thing that we do not want, it is to be crippled, and I think we all don't need any reasoning as to why that is. Let's zone this area as Cyber Pac-Man and begin construction. I like Cities Skylines because every episode you can very much start a new project and see it to completion, and it's very, very satisfying. Autumn Square? How naive. Yes, Charles Graham, I know, right? Cyber Pac Village. Yes, there we go. This is Cyber Pac Village. And we do need to provide various services as well. So we're going to have a road coming out here. So he's going to have a little bit of a, I guess, infection. And this is where our... Actually, we could actually have some power going on over here. That might work, but we're going to have 2 incineration plants here, and we're going to give him a little extra road off the top there, and have 1 more incineration plant, just so it's away from where people will be. I guess I don't need to build them in pairs. That's probably a little bit overzealous. We'll get a refund back on one of them, just because you do have to keep it OCD worthy. So 1 hospital doesn't cover the entire area, so this is a very expensive project. Let's have a cemetery here and a funeral Bernie House. Bernie House, of course, is the technical term there. And then finally one sort of in the middle, I think, that will get the rest. Although this one doesn't seem to be making much headway. So I'm going to connect this road to that, and that should definitely... yeah, there we go. So in terms of garbage, this entire area is sorted. So let's go back to the dead. Always got to think about the dead. Where's the dead gone? I've lost the dead. I've lost the dead, everybody. Okay, so this definitely needs more coverage. We'll put one there. We will put one here. And then finally one kind of there. Yeah, that pretty much covers it all. And then we'll actually just put a little funeral. I don't know why I keep calling it a funeral home. It's a Bernie place for the dead. And money-wise, we're still kind of doing okay. We could have a hydro power plant. An oil power plant is pretty good. But I should... oh, yeah, nuclear, of course. 200,000. I'd rather just put this here. And then we can have some more power going on. That should actually start generating power, right? Yeah, it does. So that's lovely. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to zone the entire area, and then whatever happens, happens. I've reached that point. So we're going to give the front a really nice normal house look. So I don't want big-ass office buildings covering this. In fact, I don't want that up to there, so we'll leave that like that. Then we want office buildings surrounding the inside circle, so outside circle even. I don't know my insides from my outsides. Oh, isn't that hilarious? In fact, we could just make this a massive office area. We really could. Office area, high density residential is what I'm actually talking about. I'm talking about high density residential. Not as catchy as it could be, but still pretty damn catchy. And I want to dezone the ones in the middle, just because if I actually have people living here, the traffic is going to have just... it's not going to move at any point ever, is all I'm saying. And we want to get some paradox plazas down just to raise the land value as much as possible. And I kind of like zoning with the fill tool. I think you can do a much more accurate job with it. But all of the tools do have their purpose. That's the point of them. A good craftsman uses the right tools for the job. And I'm not going to begrudge the game for offering lots of tools for said job. This is all zoned nice and lovely. We'll keep this getting zoned. Do I want to actually have it on the right? I don't think I do want to have it on the right. That's going to be reserved for offices and industry. And then the real issue and challenge is going to be getting power to this entire area and making sure it has all the education, all of the fire stuff, all of the police. The police bit is kind of easy, but also, in fact, it's just healthcare and education that's really going to be the stumbling block. I don't want to go too close to the roundabout over here, because it will end up being way too trafficky. So that kind of works, and then we're going to go to high density offices. I think offices make more sense because that's where they're going to go to work. So we want them closest, and then we'll have the commercial at the other side of town. Offices come up through here. Do I want to put offices in the middle? I guess in terms of traffic, I could just put offices everywhere because there's only traffic at certain times as people go to and from work. So I could probably get away with that. Emphasis on the probably, a really big emphasis on it, and when this all turns out to be a massive disaster, you can all call me on it. I will allow it. This once, only this once. I say I will allow it. You guys call me on everything. Aren't you all so intolerant of my failings as a mayor when I try my best, you know? It's not easy. It's not easy. You gotta get up every morning and make sure that your city is not shitty, and that's sometimes a difficult thing to do. Where is my fill tool? We'll get rid of you. No, we'll get rid of you, and then we're gonna have you take up this entire area all the way to the front. Okay, so this should be a massive extra bit of awesome for the town. I don't want the center of roundabouts covered, because I think that's just asking for trouble, but I can probably get away with the surrounding roundabouts taken. And yeah, this is good. I have a feeling that the high density stuff is just better than the low density, but I think you should always put some low density in, just aesthetics wise more than anything. Boom, boom, boom. We are nearly zoned up. This is actually a much more mammoth project than I was expecting it to be, but that's good. You never want to, you gotta go big or you gotta go home. You really, really do. And then we'll have more office blocks over here. Like that. In fact, we could get away with some more living area here. Maybe we should have done that. Let's unfill that one and put this one here. And I think we're done. I think... Nope, we're not quite done yet. We have ourselves this, which I am actually going to make more workers, just because I don't think we've got the balance quite right yet. Not just a little bit off. That's looking pretty good. Definitely looking pretty good, and we can use these if it turns out it's worthwhile doing. So the real question then is, let's first of all watch people move in, and then we're going to have to try and deal with their needs as they spring up, and hope they spring up in a sensible kind of arrangement. I doubt it's going to happen, but I can believe. I can definitely believe. We'll have a hospital here. We will have a hospital over here. That makes sense. How much is covered? Not actually that much. Alright, yeah, this is a much bigger project than I gave it credit for, and even with the money that I'm earning, which is pretty damn good, ooh, that is gonna take some time to come online. Cyber Pack Village, I vastly thought that you would go, wow, okay. I mean, this is nice though, because when it does start working, we're gonna have some incredible gains from this. Just so many gains. We're going to look like we've been hitting the gym quite religiously. And over here, is that better? No, this side definitely seems to be where it's at. And then we'll just use a medical clinic to plug in the gaps. Like so. So this gap over here as well. Maybe I should connect more roads going on. That might work, but again, I still probably fine. We're definitely earning a good amount of money still. Yeah, this pretty much solves that one. And the thing is, we got to do this with fire, and we got to do this with police. It's not going to go well. It's really not going to go well. And we have no way of spreading power around apart from just using power lines, which isn't the best. It's just, you know, it's not the best. We'll have this here, because that actually produces a fairly large amount of power. If I have these two, that should connect a little bit. If we have that going to there, and we have this coming across the road and into there, that will plug that gap. And we basically just got to keep plugging gaps until everything has power. Though with the actual facilities and stuff, I can pretty much wait with that. I don't think there's anything too wrong with that approach. We've got the dead covered, we've got garbage covered, we have got healthcare covered, so it's time for fire. Time to burn them all to cinders! Do like a bit of burning to cinders. Okay, well the fire at least covers a lot more of the city than the hospitals do. In fact, I can get away with 2 fire stations, so that's really, really good. Actually, that seems to have covered a lot less than I was hoping for, but maybe we still can get away with it. I mean, what's the worst that could happen, right? What's the absolute worst? They're not gonna burn to death. Don't be silly. Stop asking what dead people smell like. A building is on fire. I don't care about your petty fires. You think I ever cared? I don't care. I'm not that type of mayor that provides useful things for my population. Yeah, actually, I might just plug in the gaps with these. That way I can just delete them when the time is right and don't have to worry about having power lines everywhere. That makes a lot more sense to me. Granted, it makes people a little bit annoyed that they've got these wind farms next to them, but that's still much better than them complaining constantly about not having power. The quite frankly ungrateful bastards. Let's go back to this. yeah, look, it does look like most of it is covered, especially now that it has gained power. So we're going to place the other one, and that will satiate the final area. So we have got fire covered. It is now time for police, and, oh, education. They're gonna be so uneducated. Oh, this is gonna cost so much money. Oh no, I'd rather them have crime than education, because if we teach them, they won't want to murder each other. Isn't it beautiful how life works? It really, really is. But no, we're going to have to put a sizable amount of primary schools around here in order to get all of the demand. And at 10k each, I mean, to be fair, this Pac village here is practically the size of the rest of my entire city. So I shouldn't be too surprised that it is needing this kind of investment. I really, really shouldn't. But I am liking how our city looks. It's got definite, distinct areas, and they all do kind of connect with each other. I feel like I want to sort of do that for some reason. I don't know why I want to, but I feel like it would just do something. I mean, nothing great, but the more connections you have with your city, the better. And I could probably eventually get away with actually having some sort of port in here, maybe? No, still a mystery to me. Still an absolute mystery. Even with you guys explaining it, me reading the tutorial, looking up tips, I'm just not even going to think about it. I'm just not even going to think about ships. The ships are not for me today. Let's delete these because we don't need them anymore. Do I need this one? I actually don't need this one. Good. So the power should spread out throughout the city pretty evenly. And how's our money doing? Money's doing well enough. Let's keep popping primary schools like sweets, as we need to do here. We'll put one there. Remember, we only need the education where housing actually is. So it's not as many as it initially appears to be, but it's still a fairly large amount. Okay, that has got primary school education covered. Now we need to start doing high schools, which cover a much bigger area, so it's going to be a lot easier to do these. Yeah, look, there we go. That will cover all of that. And then the final one over here that I can't quite afford, but when we get the funding, we've got to do smart budgeting here. We're going to get it going. We're going to get it going pretty damn good. So in terms of this series as a whole then, guys, basically what I'm thinking is when I reach whatever the final milestone is, I guess it's the one after Metropolis, although probably 100,000 makes sense, then I would say I've done it, I've made it, my city is complete, and that's how I'm going to look at it. So I think that's a nice thing to aim for. It definitely works. And then the final high school there. Okay, we've got education covered really, really well. Though in terms of power, not as well. Definitely not as well in that instance. But it's still fine. Still absolutely fine. We'll have that there. Has any sort of connected up with each other? Not that I can see. Ooh, they're struggling with waste disposal. Okay, well, I mean, we can sort that out. We can have one of these over here, connect it to the main piping, and that should solve any waste issues that are going on still. It does indeed. And then another wind turbine here to start giving power to all of these, because it's very pointless us having all of these facilities if we're not going to have them powered up and actually able to see what's going on, because otherwise it gives the impression we're not covered when we actually are quite covered. So in terms of plaza and happiness, let's make sure we have enough of these around the place to raise the land value and make everyone really love living in my quite frankly wondrous, glorious, just shining example of a city that you all should just be so jealous of. I love that they only cost 1,000 each, but have such a massive impact on the happiness of those around them. Because I don't care if they want facilities other than plazas, they can just get stuff. They are having plazas, and they are going to like their goddamn plazas. That they don't have a choice. They are liking their plazas, or they don't go outside. I'm going to instigate martial law if these guys keep bitching about their lack of varied facilities that I offer, because they're lucky I even let them live in this city. That's what they got to appreciate. They are just lucky I even let them live. So that definitely sorts out a fairly large amount of happiness. So back to education then. We need to get our university. Where should I even place it? We're coming up on enough money. We are gaining a lot of population. I guess because there's so much zoned room at the moment, it just lets us completely satiate any and all demand as it arrives. Yeah, the university, as I suspected, pretty much covers the entire area by itself. So that's good to see there. And that, I think, unlocks a extra monument. Yes, the Science Center, which we gotta put in Cyber Pac-Man. I mean, that only makes sense. It's probably the Science Center with its weird experiments that made this come to be, so we're definitely gonna whack it here. Lovely. That made one person happy. They were just pretty chuffed that the Science Center moved in next door. The official park. That's kind of nice. That'll provide a lot of happiness. So we're gonna try and build that. We've also got the tax office. Do I really want to build the tax office? Yeah, I do. We gotta tax them as much as possible. Oh, we gotta tax them so much. Is that gonna make people happy? Yeah, I didn't think it would make people happy. That wouldn't make a lot of sense. And then the official park, 45,000. That's an expensive park. That is an expensive park. Do I want to do anything else? Actually, you know what? I'm going to use free public transport just to get people to use it more, because it's not a massive cut to our income to let everybody use public transport for free. Maybe it's a little bit, but I don't have enough public transport that I'm that worried about it. And I guess before people realize they can get away with crime, I should at least put a police headquarters down. But I really want my special park. Look how official the official park looked. It's got a cube thing in the middle. Does your park have a cube thing in the middle? Because I'm thinking it doesn't. Let's whack that here. That covers a very large area of stuff and will make a lot of people very happy. So there you go, guys. The city is growing at a wondrous rate. We've got Cyber Pac Village becoming fantastic. We still do have a sewage issue. Oh, because it's not powered. That would actually make a lot of sense. And there we go. Now that that has gained power, it will then in turn solve ours. Why do you need water? You're a park. You are literally a park. What do you need? What is running water in your entire being? I want to know. I do. I would love to know that. So in terms of power, I can get rid of that one without costing too much. Can I get rid of that one? Has they made a connection? I need a connection to form with this university. And I need a connection to form down here. So I guess we'll do that next time and prune out everything and make sure it's all good. Do I want to connect this? I mean, I may as well just to activate the university. The earlier people start using it and getting the education, the much better for us. Because now this is connected to the main city grid. Again, this ridiculous wind farm that I've got going on. I mean, I do like it as a thing that I'm doing, but I accept that maybe using more powerful forms of power is definitely a good decision. So this is connected up here, so I can get rid of this one, I can get rid of this one, I can get rid of this one, and I can get rid of this. I can't get rid of this. That might just stay there as a permanent way of powering that. I can't get rid of this one, but I can get rid of that one. I can't get rid of that one yet. Actually, no, I can, because it's connected via that way. Oh, no, that one broke a connection there. No, if only I'd listened to my advisors. Who are my advisors, you ask? You'll never know. Unless I tell you, but you'll never know, because I'm not gonna. Lovely. So there we go, everybody. That will do for today's episode. Done a lot of good today. A lot of good. My name has been Rage. Please remember to like if you've enjoyed this. It really does help, and I do appreciate it. And subscribe for more. Goodbye.